being a Nigerian businessman requires you to think on your toes. If you don't have people around you who see you to be bigger than who you think you are, you will not be able to key into your real self. It's very important. When you are answerable to yourself, it's actually more serious than when you are answerable to someone else. People aren't machines. Machines, the input is roughly always equal to the output. With people, the fact that you pay them a high salary doesn't mean you will get good output.
Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Be Inspired with Humiela Bute. This is a place to be educated, informed, motivated, and most importantly, to be inspired. My guest today is a trained mechanical engineer, associate public relations analyst, social projects officer, project manager, farm owner, and technology enthusiast. Emeka has 11 years experience working in Chevron Nigeria to deploy multiple social development projects on behalf of Chevron's deepwater partnerships. Before Chevron, Emeka worked in multiple computer startups in the age when internet connection did not go beyond 56 kilobits per second. During this time, his interest in information technology and computers was piqued, and a passion for problem solving using technology as a catalyst was born. In 2013, Emeka started a poultry farm in Nigeria, and by December of 2018, he resigned from his 11 years career to fully dedicate himself to his second career, being a farm owner. He has so much experience, and then that is why we're here, to tap into his knowledge. Please welcome Mr. Emeka Egbochuku. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
So when I was reading your biography, it was quite impressive, being in an oil and gas industry for 11 years. Why did you have to leave?
Well, I think the summary is that it was time to leave. There was a time for everything. And one needs to recognize when your time is up somewhere. I even think I left a tad bit too late compared to when I was actually meant to leave. So you have to recognize when it's time to move on, take the bold step, and then move on.
So in 2013, you started your poultry, right? And then you're still doing your 9 to 5. So how were you be able to manage the two at the time? Because I know that you left after, when you started 2018, you left 5 years thereafter. So how were you be able to manage your 9 to 5 and then your side business at the time?
Well, you need to. So let's start from the beginning. I wanted more. I think that's just the summary. When I got into my first job, it was exciting. It was impactful. I found meaning in what I was doing.
Right.
But it got to a stage where I felt I could do more. I wanted more. I could look to the future, and I looked to the future and I saw that, look, I need more. That's just the summary. I wanted more. So I have an uncle who, one of my mom's elder brothers, who owns a poultry farm in Ota. And he has 5 girls. He has schooled all of them to master's level abroad, and they're all doing very well. They're all married. They all have their businesses. And so I reached out to him, and my uncle, being who he is, he was an open book with me. We discussed all the way going to Ota, discussed all the way coming back. He showed me everything about the business, as much as he could within one day. And then till now, he keeps tabs on me, that how's the business going, how's it going. And that was the spark that lit the flame that burnt the forest. I saw that there was so much. And when you hear, farming. In Nigeria, what we think is farming is a guy with a straw hat
Right.
and a hoe.
Mm-hmm.
It's a business. It's an industry. It's a lot. You Google corn alone, and you could be on it for days just studying the various tributaries of corn. One of those tributaries is poultry farming.
Right. Right.
Farming itself too. You Google what you could use an egg to do, and you could just keep going.
You know, before we get into the details of what the aspects of the farming that you're into, you mentioned about your uncle. You started going with him. Was that the reason why you now said, okay, this is the one I really want to do? Or before then, you've been thinking of kind of business you could venture into?
Yeah, so I love technology.
Right.
I am a technology enthusiast. I enjoy using technology to solve problems. So little things, you can imagine how someone like me would have felt when I found out that there was such a thing as a POS, that you could go to an ATM machine and collect cash without in. That's a miracle. So I've always looked for how to use technology to solve problems, to make things more efficient. So having that in mind, I was now looking for which business can I use this passion for technology to solve. So farming, for instance, my visit to his farm just opened up another opportunity for me where, oh, look, this is what he's doing. All of this is statistics. He doesn't need to be putting them on receipts and paper. You could file these up and get a graph that will show you projections.
Right.
So that's where it came from. The idea, his exposure, and his openness was able to allow me merge what I knew and my passion with what I was seeing, and I could just see an opportunity blow up in there.
Oh, that's another way of saying it. I really like that. So you also mentioned that, but the reason why you left your 9 to 5 is because you want more. Like you feel that you're not. Doesn't mean that you are not fully utilized, or kind of let me say that you are underutilized.
Structure is good, but structure creates routine. Routines are good, but routines for me get boring. Because if you do something this year and then next year you do the same thing again, and then next year you do the same thing again, solving almost the same problems that keep reoccurring, because that is just the cycle.
Right.
Yeah, you eventually want more.
So how about if at all you kept on changing from your full-time job 9 to 5, you kept on changing from one job to the other, would you have?
So it would have helped, but I also felt I wasn't, like I said, structure. I wasn't going to be able to apply myself and my passion for technology where I was, the way I'm doing right now.
Awesome. So you feel that you were able to utilize your skill sets more because of you kind of own the world yourself now.
Exactly. An oil and gas firm is a big firm. Any
Right.
oil and gas firm, no matter how small you
Right.
think it is a big firm.
I totally
And
agree.
structure is needed to shepherd the sheep. Because if you allow everybody go willy-nilly, you end up having random people up and down, random processes. You must have structure. But when you are a small business, especially if you own the business, you are able to quickly react, So yeah, I just needed that opportunity to move from one point to another, to be able to adapt, to be able to apply this new technology that I saw online that was released only yesterday to my business, and then it solves the problem, and then that becomes the norm. Teach my staff as well, so that's what they now know how to behave, and then we continue from there.
Oh, that's really amazing. I love that. How did you raise your fund to start your poultry business? Is this something that you've been planning for a very long time? Don't you now live your 9 to 5? You just carry all your savings and invest into, or you get someone that supported your mission?
It was a combination of everything. There is no single path in business. When you say, oh, this is what we're going to do, and this is how we're going to do it, and this is the only way out. If you do that, you are definitely going to fail, because being an entrepreneur, being a businessman, being a Nigerian businessman requires you to think on your toes. Just as you have a plan, you put it in your Excel, you have a beautiful business proposal or business plan. One policy would pull the rug from under your feet. And the question you now ask yourself is, do you continue or do you fail? So if you're going to continue, okay, so you know you can't continue in this path. So what do you do next? And then you figure a way out of it. So the question was, how did I raise funds? And primarily, it was from my savings. I didn't even believe in savings at the time. So let's just say it was from excess cash I had. But you go with the path of least resistance. How much was land? 350,000. Okay, buy land. You know, how much is it to just do from here to here? Oh, it's 150. Oh, I'll take 100K. Okay, no problem. Do that. Go back to your job. Keep working. Come back again. Oh, how much is so and so? You do it. Go back. Come back again. Keep working. Go back. You do it the first time. You make some money from it. It's good. You go back. You do it the second time. You lose some money. You thank God you still have your 9 to 5. You go back. So you keep staggering and you keep failing and learning from those failures. I started in 2013, but like you've mentioned, I didn't burn my ship until 2018. And between 2013 and 2018, there was a lot of failure, self-doubt, heartbreak, because of lack of planning, because of lack of experience. But eventually, you know, you lick your wounds, you get up and you try again. You keep trying until you eventually get it. So that's what being a Nigerian businessman is. You decide that this is where you want to go, and then you find your path of least resistance to get there. If you keep going and there's a stone in your front, you go around it and you keep going, because it's too expensive to go through. So you go around and you keep going.
So you were determined, like this thing have to work. So another question I want to ask, in 2018, at the time that you were tendering your resignation letter, how did you feel? Did you have a backup, like, if this fail, this is what I'm going to do? What was going through your mind?
So first of all, I'd like to point out the importance of support. You know, you asked how the money was raised, and I said it's a combination of everything. Majorly my savings, yes, but a combination of everything. But apart from money, you need to have that center, that anchor. And to be honest, that was my wife. So whenever that 2018, whenever we closed from work and we were driving home, and she was speaking to me about her job and how the day was and the problems she solved, and with so much excitement. And I was like, yeah, you know, same old for me. Last year, we had the same problem. This year, we've had the same problem again. It's the same cycle. In fact, I think I should just even quit. I said that in maybe like January. I said it again in like June. And then sometime in about August, in July, she goes, so this is the last time you talk about quitting. In August, you are going to tender your resignation and you will jump ship and face your business because you know you are good at it. Even when she said it, I was like, what's wrong with you? I was just joking now. But yeah, I didn't tender my resignation in August. I did so in December. So it took from when she said it to December for me to see what she was seeing. And that's very important. If you don't have people around you who see you to be bigger than who you think you are, you will not be able to key into your real self. It's very important. So, and that's why it's also important to get rid of people who think you are smaller than you think you are, because those energies actually, they take you a step beyond the dimension we know. I believe that there are more than 3 dimensions. So there are other things at play that if you, at least I've identified support, not just financial support, but psychological support. If she wasn't there to say it the way she did, which was basically, well, you've been complaining, it's time to stop complaining and make a move. That's it. And it wasn't even up for debate. She said it came out of the car and went to work. So it wasn't something I could, do a back and forth with her on. And yeah, time has gone on now, and it's one of the best decisions I ever made, leaving. Not because, let me say this also, I am grateful to where I was before. I'm grateful for my previous 11 years. It was fantastic. Anyone who spends that amount of time doing what I did and still come out to say, oh, I need some kind of other degree to support what I was doing. I was in an institution where there were already templates. There were already things that were cutting edge. So it's not like I was in a rut. It's not like I was in a bad place. No, I was in a fantastic place. But I just knew that because of the regular routine, I knew it was time to move on and do more. I didn't want to count how much I didn't want to count my salary. I wanted to count how much I was paying out as salaries. That's how it has always been for me. So, like I said, when it's time and you step up and you
So
move
meaning
on.
you want to be the change you want.
You have to be the change you want to be. If you ever wait for anyone else to make that change for you, that, oh, okay, Emeka, it's time for Emeka to be promoted, so Emeka, take your promotion. No, that will never happen. No, that will never happen. I wanted to say only, but there's no only, because even your mom has other children that she has to take care of as well.
Right.
So no, you have to make it work for you. And there are so many things now that if I didn't make that move, I don't think I would be able to. And 2018 is not far off. I just got started, and I'm already seeing so many positives, not just financial positives, but impacts that I'm having on people's lives. Where I was before, yes, I handled scholarships. So yeah, you could say I impacted people's lives. Yeah. I built schools and hospitals. So you could say, yeah, I impacted people's lives, but they were not personal. So when you start working and then someone comes to you to say, oh, my wife is pregnant and she needs money for CS, and you're able to chalk that up under charitable donations under your company, it's the impact, the self-satisfaction you feel is much more than the number of scholarships you gave under another company's name.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is really powerful. Oh, we're going to go on a short break and then we'll be right back. Stay tuned. Hey there, have you subscribed? Please remember to subscribe to this channel. Welcome back to Be Inspired with me, Wunmi Elebute. So, Emeka, what are the challenges you faced in this business, and then how did you overcome it?
So I wouldn't say I have overcome all the challenges, because every day is a new challenge. So what you do is keep going. One of the major challenges we've had in the agricultural sector is trying to grapple with the effects of the various policies that government keeps throwing at the industry in the name of protecting the naira, fighting inflation, curbing corruption. But when you make that policy, there are ripple effects. Things get more expensive, things get too cheap, and you are left with too much stock, too little stock. So it's just knowing how to keep dancing around. So for instance, last year there was a policy change which made feed very expensive.
Why?
It kept on rising. And you can't, it's meant to be a case of, oh, okay, so feed is expensive, therefore egg is also expensive. The customer won't react that way. Say, oh, egg is expensive, let me buy fish instead. So sometimes you would have to absorb that shock for the customer and allow the industry to normalize before you pass the cost on. So you need to be able to have some kind of, not just resilience, not just in the mind, you must have some savings, to be able to absorb shocks. There'll be good times as well when some policies will run in your favor. Cheap feed, expensive egg, you are making all the money, but it's only for a while because the tide will turn again and you should be able to dance when the time comes as well. So it's a case of just being nimble and knowing how to react and respond. Watching the news regularly and following certain people on Twitter has also helped me a great deal.
Wow, nice. So how about your staff? Being the fact that you're in 9 to 5 before you now venture into your own business. So how do you manage your staff?
Systems, processes, people. I don't even know where I've heard that from before, but it's stuck with me for a while now. If you have a good system in place, that's a start. When people buy, do you issue receipts? Same thing goes for the processes as well. Now, I cannot emphasize how important it is to have the right people. If you have a good system and processes in place, the wrong person will circumvent this process and break down the system.
Right.
So I hire slow, but I fire very fast. And luckily, my staff right now are, when it comes to integrity, they're right up there. So, I won't be here with you now while the farm is still running if I didn't trust them to a certain level that they can run the process for me. So, but when I get back, I'm also able to cross-check with my data. Okay, they said they have XYZ number of amount of feed left in the warehouse. According to the calculation, this is what it should be. You go there and you self-audit and count. Is it what is there? Yes. We have a weekly bird count.
Right.
Meaning every Saturday, we all assemble and we count one by one all the birds. Sometimes we count and we get the wrong number. We go back and we start again. And we count until what we've written on paper is what we counted. And if we see that the margin is too much, then you can now conclude that, look, someone has been stealing birds, or we miscounted the last time. You'll now be able to conclude from there. But when your staff see that you are as serious about the business as you should be, being the owner, they won't joke with your business as well, because they see that you're serious.
Right.
Yeah.
So what are the skill sets that you use to be able to manage your business? Because did you take any training, certificate course, or do you rely on your uncle expertise to help you with your poultry business?
Like I said before, it's when you are a business owner, you are the accountant, you are the HR personnel, you are the operations manager, you are the compliance chief executive. You are everything. So there is no one skill set to adopt. You learn what you can and you move on. So yes, I'm mentored by my uncle, not just my uncle. I'm mentored a great deal by my father. My dad owns his own business, and
Right.
he runs his business, and I call him every now and then to listen to what he has to say. Mentored by my mom, mentored by some key people I have met over the years during my time in my previous job. I've met people that have been able to speak words of wisdom where I pick what I need, put it together, form my own module, and then move on.
Nice.
So when you start your business, you are everything.
Right.
When you hire someone to be an accountant, you are still the accountant. You are still the CFO. What you've just done is that you've now had someone do the less tedious jobs for you, so that when he does it, he's able to now feed you back.
But you still oversee everything.
You oversee everything. There's no You don't, the days where I don't even think there was any time like that where you just hire people and then you're always in the pool while your men are working. I don't think that happens anymore.
Yeah, Emeka, you kept on mentioning the system, you have a structure in place. Does it mean that your 9 to 5, you pick one or two things from there that help you to establish your business?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I was a Lean Sigma champion in my previous job, which focuses on lean management,
Right.
which focuses on stripping out waste. If I didn't take anything away from there, I took that with me. You know, you should be able to um, identify the core of where you want to go and realize that your office doesn't need an AC to be able to sell eggs. You get the point. You don't need to, you don't, unless there is a point to be made for your comfort. If your comfort is the objective, that's a different objective with its different set of attributes. But if you want to sell egg, you just, everything else is secondary. What you want is for the egg to come out, you sell the egg, you get your money, and that's it. Now, other objective, you never in life, at any given time, you always have multiple objectives that lead to the same goal.
Right.
So based on what objective you have in place, you would know what you need to identify as waste, and that's just for Lean Sigma. I was also, for my department, I liaised with the compliance team regularly, and it opened up a lot. It exposed me to a lot when it came to accountability, where you are able to ask, why am I doing what I'm doing? And if you cannot answer the simple question of why do we need to buy a new generator? Is the old one not working? Oh, it spoils regularly. Okay, so if we fix it, will it work? And so do we need to still buy a new generator if we can fix the old one? Oh, if we fix the old one, it will be as expensive as just buying another one.
Right.
Okay, you know what? Let's buy another one. Or no, it's just be cheap. We'll be able to fix it. Then you fix it and then you move on. So those critical thinking parts from my previous job, I attribute a lot of what I've learned now to what I've used to build my systems right now.
Oh, that's really good because some people you work in haven't spent that long time in the previous job. If you didn't grab anything, probably you're the one that have a problem, not the system. So how do you improve yourself over time? How do you improve knowing the fact that okay, now you are the CEO of your life, you own everything, nobody is accountable for anything except you. Not like your previous job, you go for training every year, every now and then. So how do you keep on improving to be on top of your game?
So people keep saying, now you work 9 to 5, you have a business now, so you don't need to wake up early in the morning. Okay, sleep. Right? So what that means is when you are answerable to yourself, it's actually more serious than when you are answerable to someone else. Because when you are answerable to yourself, it's personal on all levels. You can't escape from yourself. You can escape from your boss and hide, but you can't hide from yourself. So when you take it as a personal responsibility to go in a certain direction, no one needs to teach you, no one needs to tell you about what to do when it comes to personal improvement. You will figure it out. So for me now, I believe we are in an age where school is just that bit less important, still important, but learning and school don't go in tandem anymore. Now, if you want to go to school, yes, you can go to school for socials, you can go to school for learning how to interact in the community. But when it comes to learning, when it comes to knowing how to be a photographer, you can go online, how to be a photographer. And the articles are endless. Google will show you everything. If you want to learn poultry farming, how to be a poultry farmer, it's endless. So I keep myself abreast with everything by taking any advantage I can online. So when it comes to new technology, YouTube, you watch CNN and you hear about this new company that is doing so well in poultry farming and they are using X technology. YouTube. You go to YouTube, find out what the technology is about, and just watch and learn. You hear some key terms that they are using. Google those terms, read them up, YouTube them if you can, and just learn. When you get back to your business, you find out that, oh, what they were saying is actually here. Okay, put this and this together and then put it there. There you go. It's working just like you saw on CNN. So it doesn't necessarily have to be something you must import or you must fabricate. It may just be a simple turn things around, reduce this, increase that, calibrate. That's it. So I keep myself abreast by being online, researching. I read a lot, not necessarily books, but as in not the physical books, but whenever I'm on my system and I am not on Excel, I'm on one website or one blog or one.
So meaning that you're taking advantage of the resources that is everywhere to just improve yourself.
It's available.
That was a great one. I think I love that, what you said about the process and the going on YouTube, learn this and that. That was amazing. So another one I want to understand, what is the biggest lesson you've learned in this business? Like, oh my God, am I going to say the unexpected things that you encounter? Like, I didn't even prepare for it. I never knew that this would ever happen.
Well, there's, lessons come every day. So it's to pick one lesson and call it the biggest would be difficult. However, one lesson I've learned is people change and people aren't machines. Machines, the input is roughly always equal to the output almost all the time. So garbage in, garbage out. You put in petrol, you get movement or you get power. With people, the fact that you pay them a high salary doesn't mean you will get good output. My first staff worked with me for 3 months before he collected his first salary. And it wasn't my doing. I kept on pushing him that, look, I have money to pay you your salary. We had already agreed on a salary. I have money to pay you your salary. He said, no, Mr. Emeka, this egg will pay my salary, not you. Wow. Whereas during my multiple false starts during the first pilgrimage, there was someone who I paid a lot of money. With my previous job salary, I was taking from my salary to pay him, and
delivery was zero.
There was no result. I rented a house for him, got a laptop, thinking that if he saw how committed I was to him, he would respond. But you see, people change. People don't react. They are not machines. People don't react that way. What drives an individual is quite different per individual. So it's not necessarily the same thing. I think that's it. And once you pick that and you know that, look, what drives this person is not salary. Let me give you another example. I have another staff who, before I can wake up and drive to the farm, he's done for the day. What I mean is, I have a set of things that you must do when you wake up: clean here, clean here, clean here, sweep here, pack this, arrange, reset everything, fill this one, do this one. And most of the time I got there by 8
a.m.
8:30, yes, a.m. And my guy he'll be done. He would have taken his bath and he's just chilling, playing games on his phone. And I want to get angry that I don't pay you to sit down and... But he'll be like, Oga, I've done this, I've done this, I've done this, I've done this. What am I not doing? Really? Oh. What am I not doing? So one day I called him and I asked him, why are you here? Why are you working for me? And he told me the honest truth, that he wants to build a house for his parents in Benue. Sorry, Bauchi. He wants to build a house for his parents in Bauchi. How much will build a house for your parents in Bauchi? 300,000, 200,000. So I've assured him, work with me hitch free for the next couple of years. And then we'll talk about that house in Bauchi. Because I know that salary is not really his problem. That so him eating is not his problem. If it's just to eat, he can do that. But he's here in Lagos, but his mind isn't. This is a young guy in his 20s. He could have said anything. Buy a car, buy a new phone, increase his betting allowance or something. But instead, he remembered his parents. So I've held on to that, and by God's special grace, we are going to achieve it together. That house in Bauchi that he wants to build for his parents.
That is amazing. Emeka, if I tell you, if I want to have you here, keep on us. I'm really enjoying this conversation. I know that you have all the things that you need to do. So what's the award for? A lot of people that are actually trying to do the same thing. Like we have some people that are still managing their 9 to 5 and still their style business. And then why some people, they're so scared, like they don't know what the future holds for them. If I leave, how am I going to survive? How am I going to do it? Does it worth living? So what is your word for them?
Search yourself. Entrepreneurship is not for everybody. But if it is for you, you would know. And you will not be able to escape it. And if you are scared of the future, guess what? By God's special grace, the future will come anyway. So why not just do what your inner self is calling you to do? And when you eventually decide to take that leap, remember, keep moving. There are no dead ends. The only dead end will come when you stop. So if you have a plan A and it doesn't work well, modify your plan A to plan A prime, not plan B. Plan B means changing the game entirely. Keep moving. Keep moving. I think that's what I would say.
Thank you so much, Emeka.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, viewers. I'm sure you grab a lot from this conversation. And I said something that I really love. Entrepreneur is not for everybody. Not because of A is doing it. I have to do it. I have to get to it. You have to be sure before you venture into it. I'll see you next time on Be Inspired with me, Wumi Elebute. And have an amazing day.